Hello, friends, and welcome to another video lesson from DBOX Talks. If you haven't subscribed, please click subscribe and click the bell so that you can be notified of new uploads. This video is in the playlist called SQL Developer Tips, and here we'll be learning how to search database objects in SQL Developer. So sometimes, if you have a small database with a few objects in it, then you would probably not need this feature. But if you have a big database with so many database objects in it, or even if you have maybe you have multiple databases, or you have just a single database but it has multiple schemas in it, then you will probably need to know how to do this searching. So if you remember, if you have been following my videos in this playlist particularly, then you might recall that I had one video about doing search and replace of text within SQL Developer. That's different, and this one is different also because this one is not searching for text, but this one is searching for database objects such as tables, views, indexes, constraints, etc. Okay, so that's what we're gonna do, and we're gonna talk about in this video. So we'll be looking at three scenarios on how to search database objects. One is just a the exact name of the database object, and then we can do that. That's the first scenario. Okay, so to do the searching, you will rely on a toolbar button. Okay, so if you look at the menu here, just below the menu, we have the toolbar, and on the rightmost, there's a pair of binoculars there. You click on that, and the tooltip says Find DB Object. You click on that, and it opens a window on the lower left hand corner of your screen, and it's titled Find Database Object. Okay, so first scenario, you know exactly the name of the database object that you are looking for. In this case, I know it's a table, but it doesn't matter. I will just type it there or paste it there. Now, remember that the search feature in SQL Developer is not case sensitive. So it can be uppercase, lowercase, mixed case, proper case, title case, whatever you may call it, it will work. All right. So first scenario, you know the complete name of the object. So I typed it there, and then I can either hit the enter button or I can just click on the go button here. Okay. In any case, it works. So if you look at the main screen, it gives you a couple of information or details about the object you have just searched. First is that it tells us it is found in the schema called system. And then just below that, it's called table. You see table, that means the database name, I mean that the object type of this customers is table. It is a table. And thirdly, this is the object name, which is customers. All right. Schema, object type, and then the object identifier. All right. So that's easy. And again, the scenario here is that you know exactly, the full name of the database object you're looking for. Okay. So second scenario is that you want to use a wildcard. Maybe you do not know the exact name of the database object, or it is just that you wanted to find multiple objects having a certain name pattern. So in my case, I want to look for database objects of any type. Can be a table, view, index, as long as they contain the letters EMP in that succession, in that sequence. Okay, so that's it. You remember the wildcard character in SQL is not the asterisk, but rather the percent sign. So here I am typing percent EMP percent, meaning the name must contain EMP in any position. It can be at the beginning, at the end, somewhere in between, somewhere in the middle. That's what it means, okay? I'll just go. So it finds a couple of objects there that are matching the pattern EMP. And again, if I will just collapse this, you can see that the objects with the pattern EMP are found in multiple schemas. Okay, so a couple of schemas: system, DBS and MP, DBSys, HR, MDSys, public, and sys. Okay, so let's start with system, meaning a couple of objects, or at least one object, has been found in the schema called system. And after that, it is being grouped according to their object type. So index. So indexes or indices have been found to have that name pattern. these two, employees PK and MVUs ADV temp, blah, blah, blah. Okay, and then another object type is tables, and a couple of tables were found to have that pattern in their names, employees, and you can notice it's being highlighted in green, and because we used the wildcard character at the beginning and at the end of the string EMP, it is returning to me the objects that contain EMP in any position in the name itself. Okay, so this is for system schema, and then we can go down, and this is another schema called DBSNMP. And if we expand it, that node, then we will see that there's a table found with that pattern in the name, and then and so on. DBS is schema, this is the object type table. Okay, so this is the second way of doing the search, and this time we use a wildcard character, which is in SQL is not the asterisk, but rather %sign. Finally, the third way we want to be doing the search of a database object in SQL Developer is doing a more of a targeted search, more fine-grained. So what do I mean? Maybe instead of saying all schemas, I will uncheck this and I will just focus on, let's say, HR schema only. I will uncheck this. So I only want a SQL developer to search in one schema, which is HR. You can see it's checked. And then I will collapse this. And then object types, instead of all objects, I will just choose maybe index. Okay, that's for object type. Then I will collapse this again. And then finally, I will specify the name I am looking for. So instead of EMP with wildcard at the beginning and at the end. This time I'm gonna use EMP with a wildcard character only at the end. Okay, so it finds a lot less objects than before because I have done a more fine-grained search. How is that? Schema is only for HR, object type is only index, and the name is like this. It has this wildcard pattern, meaning it begins with EMP and it's followed by anything, or even EMP is good enough. Okay, so if you look on the right on the main screen window, I mean, so it has found 6 objects matching the pattern and the criteria I have specified. So it found them in one schema only, HR, because I specified that, and all in index object type because I specified that also when I did the search, and it found 6 of them. And the pattern is correct. If you look at the highlighted green part of the name, it matches my placement of the wildcard character, which I mean by this is that what I mean is that the name must be starting with EMP and it could be followed by anything or even nothing. Okay, so they're all correct. In this short video, we have seen how to search database objects in SQL Developer, and I've shown you at least 3 ways you can do it. One is you know the exact name. Second is you're using wildcard character, and thirdly is you're doing in together. I mean, in tandem with the use of a wildcard character, we are also doing a more refined search, which is specifying in the checkboxes here in the Find DB database object window. Okay, thank you for watching and listening. If you haven't subscribed, please click subscribe and click the bell, and I'll be seeing you in the next video.